Today we're going to discuss Alzheimer's disease and dementia, focusing on pathophysiology, progression, assessment findings, and patient management. Alzheimer's disease is a progressive, irreversible neurodegenerative disorder that gradually affects memory, cognition, behavior, communication, and functional ability. Dementia is not considered a normal part of aging, although risk increases significantly with age. As the disease progresses, patients experience worsening impairment in memory, judgment, orientation, reasoning, language, and the ability to perform activities of daily living. Throughout this lecture, we'll focus on recognizing clinical manifestations, understanding disease progression, identifying safety concerns, and applying nursing interventions that support both the patient and the family. Alzheimer's disease continues to be a major public health issue, affecting millions of patients and families. It is currently one of the leading causes of death in the United States and becomes increasingly common with advancing age. You can see on this slide that prevalence rises dramatically in adults over age 85, which reflects the strong association between aging and neurodegenerative disease progression. However, it is very important to remember that Alzheimer's disease is not considered a normal part of aging. Normal aging may involve mild slowing of recall or processing speed, but Alzheimer's disease produces progressive and irreversible cognitive decline that interferes with daily functioning and independence. The disease develops gradually over time and is associated with worsening memory impairment, impaired judgment, personality and behavioral changes, communication difficulty, and eventually, loss of functional abilities. The projected increase in future cases also highlights the importance of early recognition, caregiver education, safety planning, and long-term nursing management. The exact cause of Alzheimer's disease is not completely understood, but multiple contributing factors are involved. The single greatest risk factor is increasing age. As patients age, the risk of neurodegenerative changes rises significantly. This slide also shows several additional factors associated with Alzheimer's disease development, including genetics, vascular disease, neurotransmitter imbalances, stress hormone effects, trauma, seizure disorders, and circadian rhythm disruption. Many of these factors interact with one another and may contribute to progressive neuronal injury over time. There are also two major forms of Alzheimer's disease. Familial Alzheimer's disease is rare and genetically linked. It usually presents earlier in life and accounts for a very small percentage of cases. Sporadic Alzheimer's disease is much more common and typically presents later in adulthood. In addition to age and genetics, vascular health is also important because conditions such as hypertension, diabetes, smoking, and hyperlipidemia may contribute to cognitive decline and worsen disease progression. Alzheimer's disease produces progressive neuronal damage and loss of brain tissue over time. There are three major pathophysiologic changes associated with the disease process. The first is the development of neurofibrillary tangles. These are abnormal twisted protein structures that form inside neurons and disrupt normal cellular function and communication. The second major finding is senile plaques, also called amyloid plaques. These are abnormal protein accumulations that build up outside neurons, especially within the cerebral cortex, interfering with neuronal signaling and contributing to cell death. The third major change involves acetylcholine disruption. Acetylcholine is an important neurotransmitter involved in learning, memory, and cognition. As neurons degenerate, acetylcholine production decreases significantly, leading to worsening memory impairment and cognitive decline. Over time, ongoing neuronal loss causes brain atrophy, reduced cortical function, impaired communication between neurons, and progressive loss of cognitive and functional abilities. Alzheimer's disease progresses gradually over time, with worsening cognitive and functional decline as neuronal damage advances. In the early stage, patients often demonstrate forgetfulness, subtle short-term memory loss, and increasing difficulty maintaining work responsibilities, organization, or social functioning. As the disease progresses, patients begin losing basic recognition and become increasingly disoriented. Reasoning and judgment decline, communication becomes impaired, and speech abilities gradually worsen. In the advanced stage, behavioral and neurologic symptoms become more severe. Patients may develop paranoia, agitation, aggression, wandering behaviors, sleep disturbances, dysphagia, and incontinence. Safety concerns increase significantly during this phase because patients may become unable to recognize danger or care for themselves independently. In the terminal stage, patients become completely dependent on caregivers for all activities of daily living. Severe immobility, malnutrition, aspiration risk, infection, and pneumonia become major concerns. At this point, complications related to immobility and inability to maintain nutrition or airway protection are common causes of death. Alzheimer's disease is considered a diagnosis of exclusion, meaning other reversible causes of cognitive impairment must first be ruled out. The assessment process begins by evaluating for conditions that can mimic dementia symptoms. These include depression, medication or drug toxicity, metabolic disorders, infection, vitamin deficiencies, thyroid disorders, and other neurologic conditions. After reversible causes are evaluated, diagnostic testing focuses on cognitive and behavioral assessment. Common screening tools include the Mini Mental State Examination, or MMSE, the Global Deterioration Scale, and the Confusion Assessment Method, especially when delirium is also being considered. Laboratory and imaging studies are also important. Blood work may include vitamin B12 levels, thyroid studies, electrolyte evaluation, and metabolic testing. Imaging, such as CT or MRI, helps evaluate for stroke, tumor, hydrocephalus, or other structural abnormalities contributing to cognitive decline. It is important to remember that there is no single definitive diagnostic test for Alzheimer's disease during life. Instead, diagnosis is based on clinical findings, progression of symptoms, exclusion of other causes, and cognitive assessment patterns. Management of Alzheimer's disease focuses on slowing progression, managing symptoms, maintaining function, and supporting safety and quality of life. At this time, there is no cure for Alzheimer's disease. Pharmacologic treatment often includes cholinesterase inhibitors, such as donepezil or rivastigmine. These medications help increase acetylcholine availability in the brain and may temporarily improve memory, cognition, or daily functioning in some patients. However, patients must be monitored closely because medication effectiveness varies and benefits are often modest. Additional medications, such as antidepressants or antipsychotics, may sometimes be used for severe behavioral symptoms, agitation, aggression, depression, or psychosis. These medications are generally reserved for situations where non-pharmacologic interventions are not effective, because they may increase fall risk, sedation, or adverse effects in older adults. Non-pharmacologic management is also extremely important. Structured daily routines, calm environments, reorientation techniques, music therapy, familiar objects, and family involvement can help reduce agitation and confusion. The overall goal is to maintain safety, preserve function as long as possible, reduce distress, and support both the patient and caregivers throughout disease progression. Nursing care for patients with Alzheimer's disease focuses heavily on cognitive support, physical safety, and maintaining independence as long as possible. Structured daily routines are very important because consistency helps reduce confusion, anxiety, and agitation. Environmental overstimulation should also be minimized by reducing excessive noise, clutter, or rapid changes in surroundings. Visual reminders, calendars, clocks, labels, and memory aids may help support orientation and improve daily functioning during earlier stages of disease progression. Physical safety is another major priority. Patients are at increased risk for falls, wandering, injury, medication errors, and inability to recognize hazards. Fall prevention strategies, supervision, removal of environmental hazards, and maintaining safe living spaces are essential components of care. As cognitive decline progresses, patients may require increasing assistance with activities of daily living. However, nurses should still encourage independence whenever possible. Complex tasks should be broken down into simple, step-by-step instructions so patients can continue participating in self-care activities at their highest functional level. The goal is to maintain dignity, maximize remaining abilities, reduce frustration, and provide a safe and supportive environment. Now let's shift focus to the emotional, behavioral, and physiological nursing interventions for patients with Alzheimer's disease. Socialization remains important throughout disease progression. Patients benefit from maintaining human interaction, familiar relationships, and structured social activities whenever possible. Simple activities, family engagement, music, conversation, and familiar routines may help decrease isolation and reduce agitation. Communication strategies are also extremely important. As cognitive decline progresses, Patients may have difficulty processing complex language or expressing their needs clearly. Nurses should speak slowly, use simple phrases, maintain eye contact, and reduce environmental distractions during communication. Nonverbal communication often becomes increasingly important in later stages. Patients with Alzheimer's disease may also experience anxiety, agitation, or emotional distress. A calm environment and a calm approach from caregivers can help prevent escalation. Overstimulation should be avoided whenever possible. Sleep disturbances are very common. Disruption of normal circadian rhythms may lead to nighttime wandering, confusion, and increased agitation. Sleep hygiene interventions include maintaining regular schedules, reducing daytime naps, minimizing nighttime disruptions, and encouraging daytime activity. Nutrition also becomes a major nursing focus. Patients may forget to eat, have difficulty using utensils, lose interest in food, or develop swallowing difficulties as the disease progresses. Serving familiar foods, providing adaptive utensils, giving step-by-step cueing, and monitoring intake closely are important interventions to help maintain nutritional status and reduce complications. Overall, nursing care must address both the cognitive and physical effects of progressive neurological decline while maintaining patient dignity, comfort, and quality of life. Alzheimer's disease affects not only the patient, but the entire caregiving system surrounding the patient. Most long-term care is provided by family caregivers inside the home environment. As the disease progresses, caregivers often become responsible for medication management, supervision, feeding assistance, hygiene, mobility support, transportation, and behavioral management. Over time, caregiver burden can become extremely high. Many caregivers experience physical exhaustion, emotional stress, financial strain, sleep disruption, depression, and social isolation. Because of this, nursing care must include ongoing caregiver education and support in addition to direct patient care. Education should focus on disease progression, communication techniques, safety precautions, behavioral interventions, medication monitoring, and strategies for managing agitation or confusion. Community support services are also extremely important. Referrals may include the Alzheimer's Association, area agencies on aging, adult daycare programs, respite care services, home health services, and caregiver support groups. Respite care is particularly valuable because it provides temporary relief for caregivers and helps reduce burnout. Patients with dementia are also highly vulnerable to abuse, neglect, and exploitation. Nurses must remain vigilant for signs of physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, or financial exploitation. Possible warning signs include unexplained bruising, dehydration, poor hygiene, fearfulness, medication withholding, unsafe living conditions, or sudden financial concerns. Mandatory reporting laws require healthcare professionals to report suspected abuse immediately, according to institutional policy and state regulations. Protecting vulnerable patients is a critical nursing responsibility throughout every stage of dementia care. Alzheimer's disease and vascular dementia are both major causes of cognitive decline, but they differ significantly in presentation, pathophysiology, and management priorities. Alzheimer's disease is the most common form of dementia. Vascular dementia is the second most common form. Alzheimer's disease typically presents with a slow onset and a continuous progressive decline over time. Patients gradually lose memory, judgment, reasoning ability, language function, and eventually physical independence. Vascular dementia often presents differently. Instead of a smooth progressive decline, patients commonly experience a stepwise pattern of deterioration. Function may remain stable for a period of time and then suddenly worsen following additional vascular injury or ischemic events. The underlying pathophysiology is also different. In Alzheimer's disease, the primary neurological findings include neurofibrillary tangles, beta-amyloid plaques, and disruption of acetylcholine transmission. In vascular dementia, cognitive impairment results from reduced cerebral blood flow and brain damage caused by ischemic strokes or chronic vascular disease. Risk factors also differ. Alzheimer's disease is strongly associated with increasing age and genetics. Management primarily focuses on slowing progression and supporting function because there is currently no cure. Vascular dementia is closely associated with cardiovascular risk factors, including hypertension, diabetes, hyperlipidemia, smoking, and prior stroke history. Management focuses heavily on vascular control and stroke prevention. That includes blood pressure management, glucose control, cholesterol reduction, smoking cessation, antiplatelet therapy when indicated, and prevention of additional ischemic injury. Clinically, distinguishing between these dementia types is important because the treatment priorities and progression patterns are not identical. However, it is also important to remember that mixed dementia can occur, meaning patients may demonstrate features of both Alzheimer's disease and vascular dementia simultaneously. All right, so let's bring all of this together. Alzheimer's disease is not normal aging. That's one of the biggest things I want you to remember from this lecture. This is a progressive neurodegenerative disease process involving plaques, tangles, and disruption of acetylcholine transmission in the brain. Over time, patients gradually lose memory, judgment, communication ability, and eventually physical independence. Now, diagnostically, remember this is considered a diagnosis of exclusion. There's no single lab test that says, yes, this patient has Alzheimer's disease. So clinicians have to rule out other potentially reversible causes of cognitive decline first. That includes things like depression, metabolic problems, medication toxicity, infections, vitamin deficiencies, and other neurological conditions. Management is really focused on slowing progression, maintaining safety, and preserving quality of life as long as possible. Some medications, like cholinesterase inhibitors, may help support memory function temporarily, but they do not cure the disease. And honestly, a huge part of management becomes nursing care and caregiver support. Structured routines, reducing overstimulation, fall prevention, communication techniques, nutrition support, and behavioral management all become major priorities. And remember, caregivers are under enormous stress in many of these situations. So nursing care is never just about the patient alone. It's about supporting the entire caregiving system surrounding that patient. All right, so the big things to remember here are Alzheimer's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative disorder and not a normal part of aging. The major pathological findings are plaques, tangles, and neuronal loss leading to gradual cognitive decline. Diagnosis is made by ruling out other reversible causes of cognitive impairment. Management focuses on slowing progression, maintaining safety, supporting function, and improving quality of life. And finally, remember that caregiver support is a major part of long-term dementia care.